The honourable member for McKellar.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Once again, I appreciate the opportunity to speak on this bill. I also appreciate that this time the member for Whitlam has decided to agree with us without moving an amendment, so we are making progress finally in the House. Mr Deputy Speaker, the National Consumer Credit Protection Amendment Mandatory Credit Reporting and Other Measures Bill 2019 will deliver benefits for both consumers and credit providers and increase competition in the lending market by reducing credit data advantage held by the major banks. Comprehensive credit reporting seeks to achieve several benefits for both credit providers and consumers. Consumers will have better access to consumer credit, with reliable individuals and small business owners drawing on their credit history to seek more competitive rates when purchasing credit. In addition, consumers that possess a poor credit rating will also be able to demonstrate their creditworthiness through future consistency and reliability. Credit providers will have the ability to obtain an accurate and comprehensive picture of a consumer's financial situation. This will enable providers to better meet their responsible lending obligations and price credit according to a consumer's credit history. As the member for Whitlam pointed out, Schedule 1 of the bill means that the 5 largest banks will be required to supply 50% of their comprehensive credit information to credit reporting bodies within 90 days from the 1st of April 2020. The information on the remaining accounts must be supplied within 90 days from the 1st of April 2021. The security of consumer information is of high importance to the government. The Privacy Act already has strict provisions that apply for how consumer credit information is handled. The bill maintains these provisions and also requires credit providers to satisfy themselves that a credit reporting body is meeting reasonable security standards before they supply consumer data. The bill also requires the credit reporting body store credit information within Australia and external territories or according to alternative security requirements in regulations for storage outside Australia if established. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission will enforce the new mandatory regime. Where credit providers and credit reporting bodies are subject to requirements under the bill, they will be subject to penalties if they fail to comply. The second schedule of the bill will establish a new type of credit information in the Privacy Act, financial hardship information, to allow reporting of consumer credit contracts affected by hardship arrangements with hardship indicators to identify such circumstances. To ensure consumers are not being unfairly disadvantaged by this change, the bill will amend Credit Act to prevent banks from using financial hardship information as the sole reason to freeze an existing credit account or to reduce a credit limit on an existing credit account. The bill will also prevent credit reporting bodies from incorporating financial hardship into credit scores. The Office of the Australian Information Commissioner will continue to oversee the credit reporting system, including receiving and attempting to receive complaints about mishandling of or inaccurate credit information. The OAIC also has the power to investigate, order compensation and issue fines. The bill will also requires the government to complete independent review prior to the 1st of October 2023 of the mandatory regime and of the credit reporting provisions, including the impact of hardship reporting requirements. Mr Deputy Speaker, the state of Georgia in the United States, for reasons only known to them, decided to ban credit reporting bureaus until the year 2004. When they finally legalised this form of credit reporting, what it allowed people and banks and financial institutions in that state to do was massively increase the amount of credit available to consumers by over 50%, reduce margins by over half to all consumers, and to grow the economy in Georgia by an above-average rate for the next decade and a half. Credit reporting is key to what the financial services sector does in order to make sure that our economy gets to grow, in order to ensure that people are able to live their lives to the full capacity that they want them to live it to. This parliament now insists, in my view dangerously, but nonetheless, that financial institutions are responsible for the decisions that consumers make in terms of whether they can or cannot afford the credit that they have decided to borrow, and that falls solely on the financial institution which they're doing. This parliament has hamstrung financial institutions from doing that by only allowing them to have limited information in terms of credit scores, and it has also stopped third-party people from being able to provide applications and services which allow them to help consumers break through the complexity of our financial system to find the best products that they want. This bill and the reforms that are contained within are critical to us delivering a better life for millions of Australians that have both been denied credit, denied the best form of credit they can have, and sometimes have been provided with credit that they should not have taken. I commend the bill to the House.